There's a type of man women can't stop thinking about. Not because he's cruel, not because he plays games, and not because he pretends he doesn't care. He just doesn't need the relationship to survive. And that energy, that quiet self-containment, is one of the most misunderstood and most magnetic things a man can carry. Today I'm going to show you how to become emotionally unavailable in the right way. Not cold, not distant, not damaged, grounded. Because here's what most men get wrong about this. They hear emotionally unavailable, and they think it means shutting down, building walls, giving one-word replies, ghosting when things get real. That's not it. That's just emotional immaturity wearing a mask. And women see straight through it. Every time. The emotionally unavailable man who actually attracts is different. He's present when he's with you. He's warm. He's engaged. But he doesn't need you to complete him. And that difference, presence without desperation, is everything. Let's talk about what emotional unavailability actually looks like when it works. The first layer. Your happiness doesn't live inside her. Most men, without realizing it, hand their emotional state over to the woman they like. She replies fast. They feel great. She goes quiet. They spiral. She seems distant. They start running mental simulations at 2 a.m., trying to figure out what went wrong. That's not attraction. That's outsourcing your peace. When a woman feels like she controls your mood, the dynamic shifts. Suddenly you feel less like a man she's drawn to and more like a project she's responsible for. And nobody wants to feel responsible for someone else's emotional stability before the relationship even starts. Here's what the grounded man does instead. He has a life that genuinely absorbs him, goals he's building, friendships that matter, a body he's working on, a mind he's feeding. So when she pulls back, he doesn't collapse. He returns to himself. And that return, that quiet refusal to fall apart, is deeply attractive. The second layer. You have an inner world she can't fully access. This one is subtle, but it's powerful. Most men, especially when they like someone, become an open book immediately. They share everything, every opinion, every fear, every plan, every insecurity. They think transparency builds connection, and sometimes it does. But too much too soon signals something else. It signals that you have no mystery, no depth, nothing left to discover. The right kind of emotional unavailability keeps something back, not because you're hiding, but because you're full. You have thoughts you haven't shared yet, layers she hasn't reached, a private world that exists completely independently of her. Women aren't drawn to men they've fully figured out. They're drawn to men who feel like there's always something more. And the only way to create that feeling is to actually become more, read more, think more, build more. Become a man whose inner world is genuinely rich, and she'll feel it without you saying a word. Quick pause. If this is already shifting how you think about attraction, hit like and subscribe, because the next videos go even deeper into the mindset that actually changes things. All right, back to it. The third layer. You can walk away and mean it. This might be the most important one and the most uncomfortable. Most men can't walk away, not because they don't want to, but because they haven't built anything worth walking back to. So they stay in situations that drain them. They tolerate disrespect quietly. They accept breadcrumbs because the alternative feels like emptiness. And here's the painful truth. She feels that. She feels when you can't leave. And what should feel like loyalty starts to feel like desperation, like a door that won't close. And nobody finds that attractive. The man who can walk away, who genuinely has standards he won't compromise, who values his own peace more than her approval, that man has power. Not aggressive power, not controlling power. The quiet power of a man who knows his worth and doesn't need to announce it. You build this by building yourself, not by pretending you don't care, but by creating a life where your standards are real because you've worked hard enough to deserve them. Here's where most men misread this entirely. They confuse emotional unavailability with emotional damage. And there is a difference. A damaged man is unavailable because he's afraid. He keeps distance because closeness feels dangerous. He pushes people away because vulnerability terrifies him. He mistakes numbness for strength. That's not what we're building here. The right kind is earned through self-work, through building identity that doesn't depend on external validation, through developing genuine peace with being alone, through creating a life so full that love becomes an addition, not a rescue mission. When you become that man, something changes. Women sense it immediately, before logic, before words. They feel that you're not chasing, that you're not performing, that you genuinely don't need saving, and somehow, counterintuitively, that makes them want to get closer. How to start building this today? Stop checking her social media when she goes quiet. Stop replying before you finish your own thought. Stop canceling your plans to be available. Stop asking your friends if she still likes you. Instead, go build something, finish something, work on something that has nothing to do with her. Let your identity become so solid that her interest becomes a bonus, not a foundation. Emotionally unavailable in the right way means this: you're open but not desperate, present but not dependent, warm but not waiting. You're a man with somewhere to be. And that, more than any line, any strategy, any tactic, is what makes you unforgettable. Quick recap. Your happiness doesn't live inside her. Your inner world stays rich and private, and you can walk away and mean it. That's not coldness. That's completeness. And complete men don't chase, they attract. So here's your challenge. This week, do one thing purely for yourself, not to impress her, not to post about it, not to feel ahead, just to become more of who you already are. Because the man who's building himself never needs to beg for attention. He just becomes impossible to ignore.